Hey folks, my name is Joey. I'm a crafter, 3D printer, and a collector of model trains, and I'm going to show you how I build a variety of different things. Hey folks, if you haven't seen my last video, I bought an old passenger car from about the late 40s, and I'm modernizing it and making it my own, and also making it look like my K-Line passenger cars. Today what I'm going to be doing is making the seats, and then adding the people to the seats. I started this project off by importing an image of a similar car interior onto SketchUp, and then copied the seats because I really like the seat design in this car. I made the rough shape of the floor by making the measurements of the length of the car and the width of the car. And then I started making the seats. I copied the seats exactly how they had theirs, and then made it into a component, and then copied the seat, pasted it, removed one of the armrests, and copied that, pasted it, flipped it, and made it into a different component, and made it a double wide seat, as you see here. And I learned a cool trick. And what I used to do was put it exactly, the seat exactly where I wanted it, put a line to where the next seat I wanted that to be, and then copy and paste it to that line. And then I would do that over and over again until I got the number of the seats that I wanted. But the new trick that I learned is you move it to the exact location that you want it, the next seat, and then hit X, and however many times you want to copy it, and then it'll copy it that many times. So you only have to do it once as opposed to however many times you're copying it. Then to give myself a rough idea of what the seats would look like, the upper deck was going to look like, I made a cutout in my mock-up of the car so I could see what it looks like. And I start modeling a interior. And as I was going through this, I realized this wasn't realistic at all, so I wanted to get a better idea. So I asked on the Model Train subreddit if anybody had any cars so I can get their dimensions. So I can get the dimensions off their cars so I could be like the real model cars. But nobody had any, or at least nobody had any dimensions for me, so they sent me links to actual Vista Dome cars so I can get to look at the real thing, and I could see what it will look like in real life, in relation. So I redesigned it to look like this, but I ended up changing it a little later. And then I started to make the steps like you see in the photo, but it ended up not working. So I just went with straight steps, like you see here. And that's how I initially designed the back end of the car with all the seats, but then I decided to make it one long bench seat with a couple of tables, and I had a bar. The reason why I made the bar is so I could use it as a support for the upper level. And it just looks nice. I faced the seats on the side of the two windows, and then I faced the back of the seat. I faced the back of the bench seat on the side of the two windows. So because the one side has more windows than the other. So I really want you to be able to see into that side. First, I printed the long bench seat side, and it was mostly came out good, except for there was a little bit of a warp that I was able to straighten out by heating it up and bending it. Then I went to print the side with the stairs and the bar, and the first layer came out great, and then it started peeling off the bed, and I was not home. As you could see, it made a big mess. So then, because of that, I decided to unearth my Octopi. That is a Raspberry Pi that allows you to control your printer remotely. That was in storage because of all the moving. And once I plugged that in, I never regretted it since. I'm the sorriest one I didn't do that from the beginning, but oddly enough, the print came out good on the last couple layers. I thought I had footage of this being printed and when it came out perfect, but for some reason it didn't save. But here are the pictures. I had to make the guy standing behind the bar a little shorter, but it's okay, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be 100% to scale. I'm just doing it for the look, and it's okay, because the guy could be also a little person working behind the bar. And then I did the same for the upper deck. I glued in people so they could see outside the Vista Dome. By the way, the reason why I don't have that many people seated is because I ran out of them. Stay tuned for the next video where I design and 3D print more parts and then add LEDs. And then I attach the road number and road name. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.